My research is on election law and democratic governance, and in particular, I'm interested in the role that the law plays in ensuring electoral fairness and the healthy functioning of democracy. Electoral fairness and democratic functioning are pressing issues in today's world, and my research focuses on developing solutions for the systemic challenges that undermine democracy. My work is interdisciplinary and comparative, with a particular focus on Canada and the United States. I love this field because it raises urgent questions about how we ought to structure a liberal, democratic, and constitutional order. It's a complex and rich field from a research perspective, and it also addresses current challenges and real problems in the world. I love the fact that my research has given me the opportunity to get involved in policy and public debates on these important questions.
My passion is to create a world of possibility for kids with disabilities. There are over 400,000 young people living with a disability in Canada, and they encounter many challenges and barriers in terms of living their full potential. I lead the TRAIL lab, which is the Transitions and Inclusive Environments lab, and my work focuses on listening to their lived experiences and taking those experiences along with evidence-based practice to inform programs and interventions and tools that we can better support them in living meaningful lives. What drives me is seeing the kids' smiles every day when I walk into the hospital. My background is sociology, so I really care about creating inclusive environments for people. Not only is it a human rights issue, but we can really benefit from having diverse perspectives in our schools, in the workplace, and in the community.
My research team is exploiting tools from engineering to build artificial human tissues in a dish. Using these tissues, we can explore the rules of how a tissue repairs and regenerates after an injury, or how a tissue breaks down in diseases such as cancer. And by understanding these rules, we hope to discover new ways to engineer regeneration that will form the basis of the next generation of healthcare treatments for Canadians. This is a really complicated problem, but what I love about it is that it necessitates the need to work with teams of really smart and driven students and colleagues from diverse backgrounds to get to that moment of clarity when you understand how the system works, why it has to work that way, and ultimately how you might use it to impact people's lives.
My focus of research is on pediatric chronic pain. 1 in 5 children in Canada suffer from chronic pain. I run the iOuch lab, which is improving outcomes in child health using digital health technologies. So we're creating mobile and internet solutions to help young people learn to manage their condition and successfully transition to adult care. What I love about my role, being a nurse but also being a researcher, is that I can do this research and translate it back into practice much quicker to improve the lives of these children and their families.
My research is focused on the intellectual, political, cultural, and social history of Quebec. I've really tried to rethink Canadian history from the perspective of both the local and the international. In so doing, I've done 2 major projects, one on the social movements of Montreal in the 1960s, and one on the relationship between Haiti and Quebec. For me, it was inspired by the incredible dynamic world of civil society in Montreal, the dynamism of its intellectual life, the depth of its debates, and the seriousness and urgency within which intellectual and political questions are debated and thought about. I love the work that I do because it allows me to really delve into and understand and engage the intellectual and cultural worlds of people who are often not considered as intellectual or political actors within society. So trying to understand, for example, the intellectual and artistic world of workers or of taxi drivers or of Haitian activists in 1960s Montreal, for me, allows me to discover incredibly rich and dynamic cultural worlds and bring them in to broader narratives of historical change.
My work focuses on 16th and 17th century English literature and culture, and I have particular research interests in women's writing, intersections between gender and language, and the interplay between music and literature. My father fain would have me take a man that hath a beard. My mother, she cries out alack, and makes me much afraid. Many people have inspired me along the way. I would cite in particular my parents. I was raised in a home where I was surrounded by music and books from a very early age. It's a joy to be able to bring and interweave two things that I have loved since childhood, literature and music, into my daily work. But I would say at the moment, the thing that I love most about it is the opportunity to advocate for women's writing and for the workings of gender in both historical contexts and our contemporary culture. And I would say that that extends to my work as a scholar, my work as a teacher, and now also as a university administrator, thinking about the importance of the humanities in Canadian culture.